Hey guys, hope you're doing well. Just leaving the post office, headed to a job, which overcast today and a little bit of rain, which fortunately for once that works out really well because I am working on a covered porch and it will be on the sunny side of the house. So normally I hate it when the weather kicks in like this because it makes my work tough, but today is not too bad. So the other thing is, man, lilacs are blooming. It smells great outside. But so next part of this is getting started on eBay and online selling. Is deciding what you want out of it. How much time are you going to spend on it? Are you going to do this part-time? For, all you ever want to do is part-time, or kind of, hobby style, borderline part-time? Or are you going to want to be full-time? Just so that you know how to get going from the beginning. Because if you're going to be part-time, it's fairly simple. And you can kind of do it sporadically, and you'll make some extra cash here and there. And there's not a whole lot to it. If you want to be consistent part-time or full-time, then as we go forward, you got to start looking into how are you going to get systems in place to manage inventory, shipping supplies, all that kind of stuff, which it's easier to start that now than to try to backtrack and do it later. And so you kind of need to know where you want to be before you start. You may decide you want to go full-time, and right now you're going to be part-time. That's fine, but just kind of think about how much time you have to dedicate to it. Honestly, you can have a pretty good part-time deal if you can spend, a couple hours a day, a couple days a week, or an hour a day. It's just going to be about managing your time, which I'm still struggling with. Mine's kind of sporadic, but as I kind of get that process in place, I'll share some ideas on how to do that. But as soon as you've decided how to do this, if you're going to be part-time or full-time especially, then you need to kind of start getting things organized. And the way to start doing that is, if you're familiar with eBay and you've already bought stuff on eBay, you can kind of skip this step. If not, the next things you need to buy, instead of just going to Amazon or going to the store, start looking on eBay. You research it, get the apps downloaded, and you can kind of see how eBay works with the buy it now and the auction styles. Obviously, if you're here, you're probably watching other videos on YouTube, but the thing with selling on eBay is it's not impossible to sell with 0 to 100 feedback, but it's much easier to sell once you have some feedback. So if you haven't bought anything on eBay, you're going to have no feedback. So go ahead and get started, and like I said, buy some stuff that you need on eBay so that you can get that feedback built up. Again, it's not impossible to sell with 0 feedback, but it's a lot easier to get your items found and work on that stuff if you have some feedback. And the easiest way to get some is to start buying. The other thing to do is, the goal is to sell on eBay, and when you sell on eBay, you're going to have to ship. Now, shipping supplies can be somewhat pricey, but the more you buy them in bulk, the cheaper they get. But when you're starting out, it's tough to know what you're going to use depending on what you're selling. And also, you don't want to spend all your capital on shipping supplies. So there's a couple things you can do. Now, I do Amazon FBA and eBay. So I ship UPS to Amazon, I ship FedEx and USPS on eBay. I do a lot more shipping through FedEx and UPS, or FedEx and USPS, than I do through UPS. Just because eBay makes the shipping process so easy. However, the first thing you need to do is you need to go to ups.com and you need to set up an account. And once you do that, you can order shipping labels for free. Now, this is where it's up to you and your conscience, but UPS will send you two labels per page, 8.5 by 11 sheets. They print on a laser or an inkjet, very easy. I'll get into printers in a later video. But they are 2 up on an 8.5 by 11 sheet. They work for UPS, USPS, and FedEx. However, on the very edge of them, they say for UPS shipping only. So what I do is I'm still in that just getting started phase. I have ordered those labels. I use them all the time. For FBA, when you do one shipment, you use a whole sheet. For all my other stuff, I can print a label off of eBay and it uses one of the labels. So I peel the label off, use it, flip the page around, load it, and I print the other label. So it's just a way to get free labels. Sometimes I use them for UPS, sometimes I use them for USPS and FedEx. They're generally a little bigger than I want, so I trim them, and you don't see that used for UPS only on it anymore. So it is what it is. If you want to do it that way, it's a way to get free labels when you're starting up. And then as you get more busy and you're doing a lot of sales and you've got some money coming in, if you want to switch to ordering labels, then you can do that at that time. The other thing is to go on USPS.com, because you're going to be using their shipping services, and you want to order a bunch of their free shipping supplies. Now, they brand theirs very well, so you're only going to be able to use them for USPS, but like I said, you're going to use a lot of USPS shipping stuff. So what you're going to want to kind of get started is buy the smallest quantity of theirs. And this is, you got to think about what you're selling too. So their small flat rate boxes are pretty small. Order the smallest quantity of those, I think it's 10. And then the medium flat rate boxes, there's 2 different sizes. There's kind of a thin, bigger one, and then kind of a more square one. Order both of those. Again, if you're just starting out, unless you have something you're going to use a ton of them for, just use the smallest quantity of each one. Then you're going to want to order the flat rate bubble mailers. I think they come in packs of 25. And these are all free. The post office will just drop them off at your door. And then, but not all of them are available at the post office, so you want to order these. And then you're going to want to get Region A boxes and Region B boxes. So, I guess they're called Regional A and Regional B. Regional B is a little bigger. So these are all their flat rate stuff, which once you get over about 2 pounds, if it will fit in a flat rate box, generally from what I've seen so far, that's going to be cheaper than FedEx Smart Post. So pretty much anything under a pound, I send, first class mail. And then once you get over a pound, anything up to about anything over 2 pounds, if it fits in a, flat rate or Region A, Region B, which those are going to depend on how far away it's going. Those region ones are cheaper depending on how close they are to you. And then FedEx Smart Post is the other one for if it doesn't fit in a flat rate or regional box, then Smart Post is the next best route. But you're going to want to have those options, and like I said, not all of those items are available at the post office. So you order those, you get them for free, and you have them on hand. Now, depending on how you're planning on selling, is whether or not you're going to want to open a eBay store. So I'll get into that in the next video because that ties into shipping supplies as well. So to get started, get those, either start buying some items, get that feedback built up, and then get your shipping supplies ordered so that you can ship those items out when you sell them. So that's our next step in getting moving on that. After this, I'll kind of talk about the benefits of an eBay store and what to kind of look at when you're doing those, and go from there. So until next time, if this is helpful, hit that thumbs up, subscribe so we can keep up with the next videos, and we'll see you soon.